You are now checked in to Stand Up New York Labs. Oh, yeah.
You're listening to Crass to Mouth.
Two open micers, please cede to the headliners of this table. Good Lord.
Ever just fucked somebody who wasn't your girlfriend while you were still with a girlfriend? Boom, HPV right up the pussy. Okay, we're back, my sweet, beautiful crassholes. I brought you guys somebody awesome today. I have my friend, black comedian, Blomedian, Nick Alexander.
Hey, thank you. What's up, Karen?
Yay, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. We are fast friends. We're getting fast friends.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, when I saw you at the stand the other night, I knew, we said hey and I gave you a hug and I knew and liked you.
Yeah.
And I could not, for the life of me, remember your first name. I couldn't remember if it was Nick or Jordan. I was who? Okay, so what I did was...
What'd you do?
Really slick is I was like, hey, give me your number, put it in my phone, and then text me.
You did my move.
Which is a guy move.
Yes, you did. Because a lot of times I'll be like, hey, what's up, girl? Hey, you, what's up? And then if you don't remember the name, he's like, let me get your info. And this is what I did.
But you must have done it to me too.
I didn't remember your last name, so I was like, hey, put your last name in my phone. No, I didn't. I tell him, I don't know how to spell your name, so put your name in my phone.
Right, that's so
I don't
smart.
type it in.
And I couldn't, and I knew that's why, and I couldn't blame you because I just did the exact same thing to
each
you.
other.
And then I didn't put my last name in. You were like, you're going to be Karen Comedian.
Oh,
and I was
right.
oh shit, I forgot my last name.
And then you put it in.
Yeah.
Right. And then
okay,
I was I'm calling you Karen Philly. I was going to say.
Karen Philly.
Because I remember the city. I'm going to call you by your city. And then you put your last name in.
You could just call me Karen Garbage and it would be the same. Philly. Did you know that Philly, where are you from?
I'm from New York.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, did you know that technically Philly's not a city?
Philly is not a city?
No, it's a collection of Hunger Games districts that fight each other to the death.
North, south, east, west, Philly.
Yeah, well, there's one good part where there's people with green skin and purple hair, the white people live in the middle. And then there's one part that only sells, empty shell casings and.
Oh wow! So
I'm pretty sure I've made this joke before on this podcast.
Where's the what's the part where all the dudes with the beards, all the black dudes with the beards? What section are they in? And Kevin Hart and cheesesteaks.
I think that's North Philly.
That's North. That's all. Yeah, with the
driving through there. Whenever I drive through there, it's it's fucking terrifying. Have you been to Philly?
I've gone a couple times. I did a show there a few years ago. It's been a minute since I performed, but I've been 2 or 3 times.
But was that at Helium? So you were downtown?
No, I did the Laugh House before it closed.
Where was that?
That was on South Street.
Oh, okay, but that's still nice. That's still middle of the city.
I loved it. I was so enthusiastic to be there, and then Chris Conn what the fuck you looking so happy for? This place is a piece of
so
shit.
Smart. No, it is. It is though.
And they took me to Raven Lounge too.
Uh-huh.
I saw Raven the mics that they do there. And
how was that?
It was cool. It was gothic-y and shit. But it was it's a comedy spot. We're just hanging out and we drinking. It was fun. And then I went to they drove me around and I saw where he lived. And it was just housing area. I don't know what part of the Phillies in the territories or whatever, but it just looked cool, But I guess by the end of the weekend though that I was there, I was I guess I realized why they want to leave and live in New York so bad, because there's just that little pocket of places where it's fun, and that's it. There's just nothing else.
That's it. And everything shuts down at 11 o'clock. So even if you're downtown, it's
whack.
Super shady. It's if the
11?
village, early. It's if the village emptied out completely early, and then you're just walking around. You feel weird. You know what I mean?
We do it
big,
ourselves.
empty streets.
Yeah,
it's terrifying. No one is safe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and people go out, but it's just very blue collar town. People are just not, we're with comedians and artists, all this stuff. We're hanging out. We don't have set hours.
But
people
it's
in
a
Philly,
nighttime thing.
They have set hours. They go home. So I get it's just a different atmosphere.
Some cities are job cities, 9 to 5 cities.
Just
do you know
9 to
what I
5
mean?
cities, and then there's some cities where motherfuckers is just not doing anything. When you go to Cumberland, Pennsylvania, I did a show in Cumberland. And
I don't even know what I'm from Pennsylvania, obviously.
Right,
I don't know what
Central
Cumberland is.
PA.
Oh, that's...
it's just and no
that's
disrespect to the white people that live there, but it was just nothing but white people who don't exercise.
Right.
They just eat. Their cholesterol bad. They're in scooters and they're 38.
Right.
They're like 38 years old at the mall driving around on scooters because they have just clogged arteries and it's just they don't do. Yeah.
Philly was voted ugliest or fattest or both ugliest and fattest city not that long ago.
Didn't Keith Robinson bring that up in his special? I think he has a joke about how
What's his joke?
Just how they're the ugliest, but it's like
they are.
He's like, how do you know who the ugliest city is? Like, how do you tell? Like what? And then he does like a thing like, what's the process they do to determine how many ugly people are there? It was funny.
Yeah, that is hilarious. I mean, the process I assume is very simple of just going to Philly and looking at the garbage people.
Yeah.
But they are really fat. They are really ugly. Okay, that's true.
Well, I didn't think Philly had that many. I didn't see that many fat people. When you go to like the Central and like Cumberland, like whatever, great show. I had a great time at Cumberland though.
Yeah. No disrespect.
No disrespect to Cumberland on my peoples out there. No.
Yeah.
But Philly, I mean, they look. I've seen people in other cities that look like the way Philly did. It wasn't that bad.
I shouldn't shit that much on Philly. They have like kind of like the young people of Philly, like people our age.
Yeah.
I'm just lumping myself in with everyone young.
Of course.
Are kind of hotter than here almost. Do you know what I mean? It's
New
just
York? Whoa.
Well, here's the thing that maybe you don't experience, but for me as a girl, the dick economy here is really fucked up. Like this in terms of supply and demand.
Okay.
Like there's great demand, right? Like both hetero and homo, and very low supply of quality dick. The
New
dick
York
abounds.
City is at least 3 million dicks around, and it's lacking. Damn.
Isn't that incredible?
I had no idea. I never knew.
But it's a quality issue. That's why you don't know about it.
Yeah, because I'm not.
Because quantity is easy. Like you can fuck somebody off the street. That's
I can
no problem.
imagine how busy your phone was before you started. Well, even now because you're still, you're a public figure, so I'm sure people are still messaging you.
So public.
Yeah, people are still hitting you up trying to get at you, right? Even though you're with Kurt.
Swear to God, no.
No, they stopped.
Honestly, no. They never started. Here's the thing. When I met Kurt, I was. Everybody's gonna kill me because I've said the story 1,000 times, but I was 21. Okay, I was like a prude 21-year-old virgin at NYU.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't like putting vibes out there, like
Right.
suck dick. Like I wasn't doing any of that yet.
Okay.
And I was terrified of like people's sight and touch. Do you know what I mean? Like I was a scared little girl from the suburbs in New York.
That Midwestern girl who comes here, or not even Midwestern, but just that girl,
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah, you're like Kimmy Schmidt, just.
But I'd been in the world, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was an idiot, so like I'm not. I was just like a dumb, gross idiot. So no one was hitting me up like that.
Okay.
Or maybe they were, but it wasn't who I. It's like the classic thing of like nobody wants me, but it's just no one that I want. Like people were like coming at me, but it was
of course it's just not the types.
Right, or like if I have nothing to wear and I just don't want to wear what I have. But then girls are like. No one was coming at me before I had a boyfriend. Then I started dating somebody, and now men love me.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
No.
Still, you just got lucky.
I got really lucky though. I did luck out, but that's why me and Kurt do the open relationship thing now because.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I can't.
How long have you guys been together?
Like almost 8 years.
Oh wow!
It's coming up on 8 years on Christmas.
Wow! So
Isn't that crazy?
So you've been with Kurt since you moved here, or when?
Since I was 21.
Oh wow! Okay.
Isn't that
And how long
just
have you been
nuts?
doing comedy now?
I've only been doing comedy a couple years, so it's like a fraction of the time that I've been in this relationship.
But you were hanging out like all the time in the scene and stuff.
I was hanging out because when I was in college, the only job I could get to pay my rent was waitressing at the Comedy Cellar. They're the only ones that would hire me with no experience because I'm a Jew,
Okay.
Like I'll never know for
We're
sure.
going off Jew factor.
But I think blonde Jew like does
blonde
it for
Jew,
some places.
That was the winning.
It was. Well,
combination.
the woman who hired me was Israeli, and she was like, okay, go ahead. Like you might, when your resume's an obvious lie, I'm like, has much experiences. And she's like, okay, sweetheart.
Can I be honest with you? I've never been on I've been on like 1 or 2 job interviews, but I've always avoided having to get a 9 to 5.
Did you always know you were going to do comedy?
It was like something I knew I loved performing, and and when I was living in Florida, because I moved to Florida when I was like 12 with my mom. Yeah. So I was there for like middle school, high school, and then I just knew I didn't want to live in Florida going forward. Like I had to get out. Whatever it is that's going to be back when I go back to New York, I'm going to find it.
Right.
And it was just like I was just watching a lot of comedy, and YouTube was that's all you have to do because I wasn't going home. I was just going to school and going back home.
Right.
And then just like watching I think Funny People came out that year. And then I was like, I could definitely do this shit.
What's funny, people?
Remember Seth Rogen's movie with
yes,
Apatow
right.
and
God.
Aziz and
How
shit?
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Oh.
So that was like, you know,
I'm like, how
high
is this
school.
your formative movie? Okay, I get it.
Yeah. And then it was just like, I could do that. Then I was watching Inside the Actor Studio, and I just got the bug. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I was at Queensboro. That's where I went to school, CC. And then I just did a mic there, and I was hooked. Like, so I always knew, like, I liked performing.
That's an advantage, I think, to, like,
Started
know
at
early.
18. Yeah, I think so, you know.
You started at 18?
Yeah. The first time I got on stage, it was a few months before I turned 19, so 18.
And then you just did it consistently till now.
Yeah, I didn't play around with it. Like, I just started Googling mics in the city, doing the Bringer Show shit, and then, like, then I started getting into black rooms, and that kind of helped me get on stage more. So I was pretty much all in by, you know, the following year or the 6 months that it, you know, kind of took to just kind of figure stuff out.
Do you think that being black has helped you in comedy?
No.
Not at all?
No, it's harder.
You think it's harder than being a white guy? Because
Absolutely.
white guys are, like, plentiful. Like, we don't need more of them. But black is still, like, a little bit cooler than that. You don't think so?
I think the hardest is a black female comedian. They definitely have the hardest.
It's the hardest for them? Really?
Yeah, because...
That's interesting. Why?
Because they're just always like they're always an afterthought. Like if you think about how many super popular black female stand-up comedians there are, there's not that many. Like
right.
we're getting to the point where we're almost generations behind now because the first person you'll say is Wanda, but Wanda's been in the scene like almost 30 years now.
Right.
You know, you haven't think about who knew in the last 10 years that pop. They just don't ever get the same looks. But I think with the black comic, it's like you have the thing where they still there's like we can't have two at the same time, or you have a token.
But so it's like with women, it's like that too. Like you can't have too many women on one show, or it's a girl show, and then people don't want to go.
Right, that's true too. Because like there's this black comedian. Her name is Lois Thompson. She runs.
I know Lois.
You know Lois. So she has her once a month. And she has a spot in Brooklyn at this restaurant. Her brother owns this restaurant.
Is that the Blue Moon?
Yeah, the Blue Moon, I think. So I went to the show last month to just support. I'm really good friends with Pat Brown. She's really funny. I don't know if you've ever seen her.
I don't think so.
See, you don't know about these black female comics out here. No,
I
I'm
feel
just
bad.
kidding. I'm
you know
kidding.
what? I feel bad. Like as a woman, I'm like I should be supporting these people.
Yeah, so she puts on usually black female or just diverse whatever. And then
Lois or Pat.
Lois, sorry,
Okay,
it's Lois's show.
Yeah,
so I went to the show to see Pat and whoever else was there.
Okay.
Like Charlotte Lauriston was there. This other girl named Soraya. This other chick from Texas. She was really funny. I forgot her name. But no male comics were there to like watch them besides Dave Lester. And, you know, and then Dave
Good
Lester,
old Dave Lester.
good old Dave Lester. So, and he was posting about how like no guys come and support the women. And then this year was like a year because I really love women and I get along with a lot of female comedians.
Yeah.
And I was really starting to like pay attention to their struggle, and I was like, damn, it's really tough for both black and white female. It's really tough for female comedians because to get the same kind of consideration, respect is like. When you do shows, it's usually one of y'all two. You know,
right.
It's like one because like you see most lineups when they try to say we're doing a diverse show, it'll be one black comic, one female, and then 2 or 3 white guys.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know, it's not that I've been doing comedy that long, so I don't know like the industry. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I know open mics
yeah.
a little bit, but my female comic friends who are real comics,
Right.
say that. Well, my friend Annie, you know Annie Letterman.
Yes.
So Annie was like,
We
if
took
you're
an acting class together.
really,
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I love the shit out of her.
Yeah, she's cool.
I just fucking love her so much. It's like it's obnoxious for me to even say it because I really mean it from the heart. I love her, but she was like, if you're a girl doing comedy and you're pretty and you don't have a career, it's your fault. Like regardless of race.
That's
like, you're
true
just not hustling hard
you'll
enough.
just get because you'll get the looks easily.
Right. Like
Yeah.
you'll even get stuff that you're not ready for.
Right.
Just on the virtue of like somebody wants to put a girl up.
Right.
And they're like, okay, I want to look at you.
Yeah, that never happens with black. Well, just to get that look just cause.
Right.
Like there's, you know, a lot of pretty or handsome looking guys and it's just it doesn't weigh anything.
But still, you'd say easier for a black man than a black woman, because like
I
black
think
men,
it's
it's easy to list.
It's like I think we're a little bit ahead, but yeah, I definitely would say it's easier for a black male comic as opposed to the black female.
Because like if you
But
think
it's
of
still
just the
hard.
black male, young
Yeah.
black guys who are doing comedy now successfully,
Yeah.
you could name a handful off the top of your head.
You
Che,
could,
Hannibal.
But you'd be surprised though.
Kevin
There's
Hart.
not that many black male guys in the mainstream, so the pool is really small. Like
you
if
don't think that Che is mainstream?
No, he is mainstream. I'm
Kevin
saying
Hart's mainstream.
He just like the last 5 to 10 years.
Oh, you mean like transitioning from black rooms to like everybody rooms?
Right, but I'm talking about like in the city now, like who we have now.
Yeah.
Like how many black male mainstream comics, you'd probably keep it under 10. It'd probably be under 10.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hold on. Let me
That
think.
are really working. Like
Yeah.
there's Derek Gaines, Monroe, Che, Damian Lemon, Vladimir Camaño.
Are you talking about older guys too? Like
I mean, they're
Keith
like
and
in
Will and
no,
Greer
they're
Barnes
like they're older.
You're
so
talking about that's the other
we're
generation.
talking about like the now.
Yeah.
So there's the pool is still really small.
The pool of women, though, the pool of like good female comics is also small. That's not like super all like mainstream. How you said?
Right. Yeah, that makes sense too. It's tough. Like I think about too when like a running joke amongst black comics. We all know there's always going to be one black comic from the East and the West who goes to Montreal every year.
Yeah, is that true?
Yeah,
They have like a quota.
Yeah. If you know that every year there's always at least 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So we're like, who's gonna get the 1 or 2 spots this year? Like we always kind of like hope it's somebody we know. Like we knew when Nori got it, it was like a few years overdue. When Derek got a few years overdue, Vlad got it, it was a few years overdue.
What about you? Have you ever been to Montreal?
No, I only auditioned once, so I'm still kind of going through the process. But like, I haven't gone through that thing where I felt like I should have got it last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I take myself out of that. But it always kind of happens that way.
But there's also certain cities that get like a token person to go to Montreal. Like
That's true, too.
Nick Mullen was saying that when he lived in Texas, he thinks he got Montreal because they needed a Texas guy or they needed an Austin guy.
I need a Midwest guy, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that if he'd been in New York or LA, he might have been overlooked.
Yeah, because they're already trying to fill their quotas.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's what happens too. It's kind of like sometimes it's like casting.
Yeah, right. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's still entertainment.
It's still
like,
entertainment, so yeah, you can't. Like I've been learning less and less to take it personal and just realize it's business.
But you're also 24. Like you don't like you're not at a point where you're like, well, I've been doing this long enough and I'm old enough that if I didn't have something, I should just quit.
No, not
like you're
that.
so not there yet.
But I always work like I have a small window. Like I think that mentality, if you just like, this is not gonna be here tomorrow, like because the one thing I always got since I started was, oh, you have a great look, you're gonna be fine.
You have a great look. You're so black.
Right, you're gonna be fine.
Your look is black.
It's black. So when you hear that for like 6 years, and then you're still kind of like, all right, how come? I'm not saying I gotta be famous, but how come I'm not a little further along? And then I start thinking about what realistically could I do, which is like, I can't do high school roles in like 5 years. You know what I mean? So it's like that window. There's still a thing I'm missing out on because I'm not further along.
Right.
So my thing is, I just want to be able to take advantage of my age because once you're this age, you can't go back.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
So,
can I just also just shut up?
I mean, we both can look like we could play teenagers for like the next. If I shave, I'm 12, and you're like so small and skinny.
I'm however old
and you haven't
people
abused
want
your
me
body.
to be. Yeah. No, not like significantly. It's
yeah,
true.
like I don't see like a lot of coke on you. You haven't done.
You know what? I've done my share.
Or you hide it really well.
I did. Like, I'm really anxious. Like, I'm an anxious person and I get panic attacks. Like, I'm that person.
Yeah.
And I always have been. So Coke is like, unless it's expensive, good Coke that I can't afford, it makes me freak out because you don't know what's in there. And it's always weird shit that makes you feel weird. Do you know what I mean? But one time when I was in college, this is fucking
Feels
crazy.
like a Bandcamp story.
So when I was working at the cellar, waitressing when I was 21, one of the other waitresses that I made friends with, this white girl, like, looking back, she had an obvious problem. I just didn't. Like, I was so naive and young. I'd been in the city for, like, 2.5, 3 years.
Okay.
I just didn't fucking know anything. So she was, like, real itchy and scabby. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you could, like, if you now can go back in time, you'd see the signs.
I'm like, I would see. I mean, it's so obvious. Like, I cannot impress upon you enough what an idiot I've always been. So
I'm naive, too, so it's okay.
I'm so naive. I'm the world. But you're from here. So what's your excuse?
I was raised by 2 women, and when you don't have like that father or authority figure who's just kind of like letting you know this was going on, you just kind of like, I'm always like in a bubble because I've always kind of been protected to a degree.
No, I get it.
So I have some really naive moments.
It's like having the suburbs at your house because like I grew up in the suburbs and it's like I just saw nothing.
Yeah, I had like samples of suburbs.
Where from here though are you? Like Brooklyn?
I'm originally Queens, like Far Rockaway in Jamaica, Queens.
Oh, okay. So that is like as suburban as Queens gets, isn't it?
No, there's some places that are a tad better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because where I'm at, it's like I'm in the areas where there's apartments and stuff like that. Like I'm not in the section of where there's houses.
Oh. It's not like the...
Yeah, it's not like Long Island suburban. Not on that level, no.
Right.
But it's enough where like...
So you're just a sweet kid. You're like, I'm sweet. I'm like a nice guy.
Yeah, I'm a nice guy. And then, I have my little demons, but...
Right.
Yeah.
So listen, so this girl, right? So we became friends.
Back to your story.
So we became friends, and I told you I'm nervous. So like especially when I was younger, I really gave a shit a lot more than now, obviously, about just like being liked by people I don't know.
Right.
So I had to be everybody's friend. So we're hanging out. I had an apartment in the West Village because I was a student. So, you just like live well and you don't appreciate it.
Dope.
I did not. It was so dope. It was on Bleecker. So it was like, I know. It was disgusting, but it was in the middle of the, I can't, it's like breaking my heart.
You should go back to school.
Oh my God. I've thought about it, but I'm like, what am I going to just like die a student?
Right. No,
so she comes over. She's like, my fiance. So she had a fiance that's like, when drug people are in relationships and they get serious really fast because they have this like problem that they've bonded over, and it like really like bonds you. So she's like, my fiance wants to hang out. I'm like, great, bring him. So they're like, we're just going to go to the bathroom real quick. And I'm like, wait, both of you? Do you guys want to fuck? And they're like, no, we'll just be right back. I go, you guys, hang out with me. Include me. I'm your friend. And they're like, do you ever see Walk Hard?
No.
When, so what's his name? The Johnny Cash character played by, oh my God, I'm
Knoxville?
the worst.
No, what's his name? He's a really good actor. I know who you're talking about. Clive Owen?
No, the ugly one. John C. Reilly.
Okay, boom.
Wants to do
Good answer.
drugs.
Yeah.
And they're like, you don't want no part of this.
Oh, they're trying to shield her. Or shield him.
Right. So this girl's trying to shield. She's like, you don't want to do. You don't even want to see this. And I was like, I swear to God, I do. Whatever you're doing, I want in. And she's like, okay. So first we did lines. And I'm like, I'm comfortable with this. I've done it twice. Yeah,
Take me into your journey. I love it.
Oh my God, my journey is
I've never done
lame.
cocaine. Yeah.
Really?
No.
You know what? It's a hateful, awful drug. Like all the dumbest shit I've ever done in my life has been because of cocaine. Yeah, I mean because of being stupid, but facilitated by cocaine. It's awful.
But how's that? The short high is it what it's cracked up to be?
It's not that short of a high. No, it's absolutely not what it's cracked up to be. It's, first of all, you're probably going to get shitty coke. That's the first thing. It's going to hurt, like it physically burns, tastes like garbage. And then it just, for me, it's not a pleasurable high. Like there's no euphoria. It's just boom, 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 boom. Like my heart's racing and
Adrenaline.
I'm scared.
Oh, you got scared. You didn't feel like, ah.
Well, here's what I did, okay? So we're doing lines and I'm like, yeah, I'm like getting amped up, but I'm not relaxed because it's cocaine. But I'm making terrible decisions. So they're like, okay, now we're going to go in the back. And I'm like, okay, include me. And they're like, all right. So they pull out this box of fresh hypodermic needles.
Fresh needles, okay. From the hospital.
Well, they're like these are clean. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And they're like, do you have a spoon and a belt? And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Are they about to do heroin?
They're shooting coke.
But
they're
with the needles?
It.
Oh, I didn't know you could do it with needles. I thought it was just the snorting.
No,
I thought heroin is needle.
It's both. It's like that. When you have a real problem.
My drug education is not on your level.
Oh my God. This is crazy that I even did this, but I did it. I did it with them.
You did the needle.
They were like, here, this is your special needle. Like we had our names on them. And they were like, just to be safe. Yeah, they're like, we're safety minded. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
So I did it. And that was awesome. That was like the best high I've ever experienced.
So needle coke was dope.
It was so dope. It was disgusting. Like I couldn't do it. He had to do it. Like the guy had to do it because that's crazy.
But
like who would do that?
Thank God it wasn't cracked.
I'm sure they were doing that too. Like you don't get all like itched up. Like they're doing real shit.
They were on crack then.
They were doing some I think they were doing some kind of heroin stuff. Here's the thing: if they, without knowing me that well, brought me in on that activity,
who knows?
Then they're doing worse shit than that.
Yeah,
do you know
probably.
what I mean? They felt safe, including me. They're like, well, this is our small potato stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Which is a light night. It's Thursday. We're not trying to do too much.
We're not. It's like their glass of wine. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So they were. And like coke makes you crazy. Like it really makes you just have the shittiest judgment. Do you know what I mean? So
so I've heard.
So he did it, and I'm like, oh, this is so much better than doing lines. Like it's like immediate gratification.
Right. Did you drink too, or you just went right to the coke?
I think
like a drink to relax you.
That's a good question. Well, I think that we drank later on in the night because alcohol and coke go good together.
That's the thing. Because you were saying you were so tense.
Right.
If you had a drink before, you probably would have been more relaxed.
I was like.
But you were working though.
I was I wasn't at work. I was at my apartment. It was, I knew them through work.
Oh, through work. Okay, got you.
So I did it, right? The guy was like, I'm only going to give you a little bit because I don't want you to die. And I'm like, that's a great idea. But then as soon as you do it, coke's the kind of thing where you immediately want to do more. And mainlining it like that is a short high. So when you're like, is the short high cracked, all it's cracked upbeat? That one is, yes. But doing lines, no. I don't recommend.
Okay. Yeah, the hardest drug I've done is I did Molly.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Is Molly ecstasy?
I'm like, that's
Molly's a part of
sweet.
ecstasy, right?
Molly, okay, to the best of my knowledge, and I'm sure I'm going to get emails telling me I'm a dumb bitch, but to the best of my knowledge, it's pure MDMA.
Okay.
So it's like the active ingredient in ecstasy. Because ecstasy is like a pill and it's got pill stuff, like binders and stuff in it. It's like pink. Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
and Molly's just a crystal.
Okay, so then I did the pill. So I did the ecstasy.
Oh, you did
I
ecstasy.
had ecstasy. So yeah, I was on a date and this girl, she just like wanted to drink and we were doing hookah and
Does she do it too?
she was the one who offered it to me.
Oh,
So I
okay.
was like, oh, I know I'm fucking if she's the one that's offering. Like,
And
there's
you
no
did
way.
obviously fuck.
Yeah, and it was great.
Isn't it great?
But we did. I went raw. It was.
You did?
We went like 3 rounds. I had my crazy adrenaline was crazy. I was like, what
How
am I
long
doing?
ago
This was
was
like
this?
almost 2 years ago now. In the summer. Yeah. And it was we were bouncing around. She was
Yeah.
kind of getting on my nerves at first because like she kept wanting to go to different bars. Like she lived in Astoria, so she knew
Yeah,
the
yeah.
area
Right.
and she just knew all these spots. And I'm just like, why we keep bouncing from place to place? And then she's like, you want to go to a strip club? And I was like, all right,
Oh,
fine.
she's so wow. She like really planted the seeds.
Kind of.
She could have just been like, Nick,
Yeah.
let's fuck, and you would have been like, all
I mean,
right.
I'm not trying to say that she had to just do that up front, but it's
Yeah.
like we could have just been at one bar drinking, having the hookah. We didn't have to keep moving around. Then I went to the strip club that we only stayed in for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But I did the ecstasy in there at the strip club. And then we went to this other bar. Then it started kicking in.
Right.
And then that's when it was like, all right, let's go to a short stay. Have you been to a short stay before?
No.
So I do talk
What
about my
is that? Is that
stand-up.
like a motel?
It's like a kind of hotel. You pay like $50, $70 for, like, to rent a room for like 3 hours.
Okay.
So it's
just for fucking.
just for fucking pretty
Yeah.
much. And there's one usually in Queens. There's a lot in Queens. There's a lot in Harlem too. And there's one
Okay.
in the city that's pretty known. But I can't remember where it is. But I think I've gone there before. But it's great.
fuck.
It's great when you just know when you're gonna smash.
You
You
know all
don't want
the
to
fuck
spend the whole
houses?
night because you can go your own separate ways or whatever
Right.
after. But 3 hours is a good enough time to get it in.
Why did she make such an elaborate scheme to get you in bed? I mean, you can't. Was she cute? It couldn't have
She
been
was
that
really
hard.
cute. She was pretty. She was a girl. I bagged her at a show. I had a really good set. She was a bartender. We kept in touch. And then we were like, all right, meet her up, date. And then we were just bouncing and going bar hopping. And then she was like, do you want to do ecstasy? Have you ever done it? I'm like, I've never done it. She was like, I mean, I don't want to. I was like, no, it's cool. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, if she's doing this shit, she's fucking. Like,
Obviously, and you were
so-
totally right.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I'm glad I didn't catch anything.
I was gonna say because now Charlie Sheen has AIDS.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
if anybody's earned AIDS, it's
Charlie Sheen. He partied, but he's not. He didn't fake who he was though. Like he's always been known to party hard and
Yeah.
mess around. I mean, granted, it's unfortunate, but it wasn't like he never saw this like as a possibility.
Yeah, I
know.
mean,
I still kind of like him.
I don't not like him. I mean, I don't. I guess I don't give that
Well, I
much
don't know
of a
him
shit.
as a person. Yeah, that's true. I'm not attached to him like that. Like I like his movies. I can think of a few. And he always had a great look to him, and he was just really cool and whatnot. But
Yeah.
it's just like that's just something. I mean, he put that on himself. I mean, look, if you're gonna mess around with all the coke and strippers and porn stars, you got to know I got to take more. I have to use more condoms.
You know the sacrifice you're making. He's
Yeah.
he's old enough that he lived through the whole AIDS scare and
Right
still
in the
knew what the
80s,
fuck he was doing.
when he was young and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's just like if you're gonna mess around like that, like if I mess around with girls on that level and I have that kind of access,
Yeah.
I know it's just the only thing. Just use the condoms, man. It's not gonna kill you.
Not that hard.
It's not gonna kill
It
you.
is like a kind of a bummer, but
Yeah. I mean, it is, but it's like I feel like he's not like, and I don't want to make light of AIDS because it's not a funny thing, but like he's not Eazy-E full blown. He's gonna die soon, and it's too
Right.
late to save him. He's gonna be able to treat it. He'll probably live a long time.
right. And he doesn't have AIDS. He has HIV.
HIV.
And
I'm
he's
sorry.
rich
Yeah.
as fuck.
And he's rich, so he'll be okay. But I
Yeah.
feel bad for the women. Like Denise Richards, I think might have it.
Really?
His wife. Yeah, because
I thought it wasn't. I thought it was the next one, Brooke Mueller, that
she
could have
might.
got it.
She might have it. And then some of the girls that he messed with.
But he said he told people. That's why he said he went public because they were extorting
They
him.
were extorting him, and he got tired of paying.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we never really know. We'll see how it comes out because one girl is gonna talk and tell her story.
Well, one of them, or maybe a couple of them, remember when he had those goddesses, those girls that he paid them
Those 3 girls just be with him.
Right.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing he said was that he doesn't pay them to fuck, he pays them to go away, which was the best part. But they came out and publicly defended him. They're like, he's not a bad guy. He always gave a shit about us.
He cares.
Yeah, he cares. He read it.
Yeah, I love reading stupid shit like that.
I do too.
Yeah, I'm a huge guy. Like, I'm obsessed with like gossip. And
Do you read Delisted?
I'm gonna find out. My thing is usually media takeout.
You do?
And
Okay.
TMZ.
Can I recommend Delisted? So
I look at Delisted.
it's so funny. It's funny though. It's written by this gay guy named Michael K. I've been reading this for like years and years. I can't believe I've never
Why is it
spoken.
not more
I
popular?
love it.
Yeah, shout out
It's so
to
popular.
Michael K.
Yeah, no, people know about him. It's like a very popular blog.
Was he the sports writer? Or
No, he's this gay guy who used to live in Brooklyn and then moved to LA and runs this super fucking funny blog. He just writes hilariously. He's got like nicknames
None
for
of it is rooted in
celebrities.
truth?
No, it is. It's all true.
Oh,
He's
okay.
just a funny guy.
Okay, I'm gonna check Delisted.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm gonna text you and let you know what I think.
Please
of
do.
Delisted.
It's such a great. It's like my favorite, but it's a stupid. The content's dumb, but it's written so funny.
It's the same thing with how I check media takeout every day, and like the headlines
every day.
Every day. It's World Star than media takeout.
World Star. I haven't been on World Star in forever.
Yeah, World Star is more video, of course, but you'll see stuff too, or like clips and stuff. But media takeout has these just stupid ass headlines. And like they'll insinuate somebody's gay or somebody's doing some messed up shit, and like we're not trying to say they're on the low, but looks fishy. Like that's the
so
headline,
great.
and then you see the picture of them looking in the most like gay it's whatever. Like but it's I don't know.
That's
it's
so
addictive
great.
shit. But I've always been like that. Like the same thing. Like I'm not huge like comedy gossip. I don't like fish for what's going on.
Yeah,
if
you
something
do.
happens.
Oh, come on.
No, like
You don't fish for what's going on.
I didn't know you were dating Kurt until I saw you guys together. Like
Oh, no shit.
I never.
Well, I mean, look, I'm not like
Yeah.
fucking Sarah Silverman that you'd know everybody I date.
Right. But until like I usually find out in the aftermath, like they were going down.
Right.
I usually never know of who's messing with who or what happened with this situation until until after the fact. I don't go
isn't it
fishing
so
for this
great?
stuff. If I hear it though, it's always cool. Like I'm not gonna say, oh, don't tell me about. I don't want to hear about this.
Comedy gossip is the best.
Comedy gossip is dope.
I know.
The whole circuit,
everybody-
the West Coast will know
Right.
before some East Coast people will know something. It's like
The way that the news travels is so goddamn fast,
Yeah.
and it's almost like the coasts are not separate.
no, it's not at all.
You know what I mean? Like LA and New York reverberate on each other
That
all
network
the time.
is boom. It's just like that.
I
Like,
love it
if
so
somebody got
much.
smacked or somebody cursed off a booker in front.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's the people burning bridges is like the highlight of my life.
Was it you?
Like, ooh, that's a career ender.
Was it your? I don't want to.
What?
Let's start naming names. But was it your battle I saw when they were saying you cursed out? Somebody cursed out the Stan Booker.
No, Kurt did. No. Okay. Here's the way. It wasn't a roast battle. It was mashup. It was the mashup show.
Okay.
Kurt and Annie were one of the mashed
Right.
people. I don't know. And then
Yeah.
and Louis Gomez and Adrian
Lapanucci.
Palucci.
There we go.
What?
I mess it up too.
Is that an
sometimes.
L? I thought it was an I. I thought it was E.
Lapalucci.
It is?
Yes.
Adrian, I'm sorry. But they were hosting.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Then Kurt got into it with the booker
Okay.
right before he went on stage. That's what you're thinking about.
Okay.
But it's not, it's like been resolved.
No, but it wasn't. I wasn't talking about that one. I was at a roast battle and one of the girls' insults was like saying how she called the booker a faggot one time. Like I can't remember who it was.
She did?
Yeah.
Who is my new hero? I don't know who that is.
I can't remember. I wish I remember the name. It was. I mean, it's funny. Like I didn't know. But I didn't know that happened.
She called a booker a fag.
Yeah.
Now I have to find out who that is. I'm serious.
It's
I
in
need
the
to
last
know her name.
It's in the last month. So
Really? All right, somebody's got to know.
Because I was going to roast battle like a few weeks. I went for your battle.
You did?
When you battled what's her name,
Caitlin.
Caitlin, and then there was another one. I can't remember who it was, but
Yeah, Caitlin got salty about that.
Yeah.
That's her official explanation for why she left this podcast. She's like, tell people I couldn't take losing the roast battle. I'm like, you really want me to say that? But all right.
Okay.
Fair enough. Oh, okay. So can I just
did you
shout
say
out?
you had emails?
Yeah. So I want to shout out the person who I think the name is Corey. Thank you for pointing out that Crass, the new logo said Crass to Moth. It's since been changed.
Mm-hmm.
They just put it up. Now there's a U there. So, and I'm sorry I
There
got
we
real
go.
cocky with you.
Right.
Over email, I'm like,
Yeah,
there's a mouth in there.
She got humbled real quick.
Yeah, you humbled me, Corey. So thank you. We fixed it. I can't believe I even did notice that.
And it still looks good?
It looks good. I think I read it Crass to mouth. Do you know what I mean? Like I read the mouth as mouth.
Yeah.
That was wrong. But okay, let's talk about people's emails. I'm sorry I haven't gotten to this in a while, but some people have hilarious problems.
We're up and running again.
Okay, so hold on. Let me move closer so we can both see this.
I have a weird feeling. I have this thing where I felt like I motivated you to get back on your podcast.
What do you mean?
I know it has nothing to do with
you
me.
were coming?
No, because I had asked you about it, and then all of a sudden, then you texted me like really quick. Like I honestly didn't think I was going to ever do it.
I wanted to get you on.
Yeah, I didn't believe you. I was just like, oh, she'll probably forget about me. It's okay.
No, you know what? You're possibly the first black person that I've had on this podcast. I think I just popped my blurry.
I'm so honored.
I'm honored. Thank you for coming on. I was like, is he? I was just gonna like fish it out there. Do you know what I mean? Because
right.
we had just
we
had just done the exchange number, so I'm like, is he gonna think I'm weird? But I'm like, I'm glad you came to hang out with me.
Names. We know each other's names now.
Well, because now we can get past the I know you, but I don't want to admit that I don't remember your name.
Right. Now we're like every time I see you now, it's gonna be.
It's gonna be chill, yeah. You'll never. Well, you tag me on Facebook, so you like have access to my whole information.
Boom.
So okay, who's written in? All right, Corey, thank you. I said thank you. All right, let's start from the bottom because these are the old ones.
Sure.
Okay. So this first guy.
He likes to write.
Yeah, he's the best.
Oh, okay.
So
no offense that I'm just I was impressed by the paragraphs.
Here's the thing. Anybody who writes in, by the way, I really appreciate. It's cool. I love all the emails. Like, you can call me a dumb cunt. I love that. It's hilarious that people would even bother. And you can email if you want to say anything, ask a question, give feedback, tell me my logo is weird, whatever you want. Both the emails are running, so you can take your pick. crasstoMouth@gmail.com or officialcrasstoMouth@gmail.com.
The first one is definitely the better one.
Well, the first one is, yes, the first one's a little easier. The second one was like my
reroute.
Yeah.
Right.
So crasstoMouth@gmail.com is like back and running. So if you want to email. You can also tweet us at crasstoMouth. Okay, so this is from John. Okay, John says, hey, Karen and Caitlin, but let's just pretend it says Karen. Been a fan. Thank you very much. Okay, here we go. I should say I'm a virgin and I haven't had sex or been in a relationship. That's okay. I've been on dates, but those never went anywhere. I'm not concerned about having sex. I've never had much of a libido. Interesting. But I was looking for some insight on finding dates. So he lives just outside of, how do you pronounce that? Akron?
Akron, Ohio. Akron.
It's
That's
Akron?
where LeBron's from. Akron. It's Akron.
Okay, you're sure?
Confident.
Okay, Akron, Ohio. And I'm a dork. That's sweet and adorable. With the looks of Jonah Hill and Seth Rogen's love child. I get it. I picture it. Hold on, I can like barely
Very
see.
Jewy,
That's why
right?
I'm being so weird about this. You think this is a Jew?
No, I'm saying his comparison, so he's very Jewy.
It didn't even occur to me that I might have a Jew on my hands.
Well, Seth Rogen, right?
Yeah, it's
it doesn't
true.
get more Jew than Rogen.
Does it not? You think it doesn't get more Jew than Rogen? Rogen's not that Jewy to me.
Oh, see, I don't know your levels, your 1 to 10 levels. Like
you
with
know
us,
what?
it's just like black people, we go by that last name, that curly hair, and them glasses.
That's ironically how Jewish people judge black people.
Right. It's that that last name.
Curly hair and glasses. I'm like,
glasses.
oh, black. That's how I know that. But it's, you know what? I used to live in Borough Park, which is like
okay.
super, as you know, Orthodox. And it was such a fucking nightmare.
But those are completely different, though.
That's really, really Jewy.
Yeah.
So to me,
those are like Hasidic Jews, right?
Right. So to me, like, because I'm Israeli, so my Judaism is like, I'm not religious, but it kind of runs deep.
Yeah.
For me, that's off-puttingly Jewy. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's too much for me because they were dicks to me.
Right.
So
But
then Seth Rogen is like barely a Jew by comparison.
But I put Seth Rogen in like the Hollywood Jews.
Yeah, he is a
Like
Hollywood Jew.
Seinfeld,
I don't know. I think this is a me problem because I just never associated Rogen that much with being a Jew.
Really?
Is Joe Rogan Jewish?
I'm not sure. I
don't
think he's Italian.
So. Oh, see?
I don't
how
know.
does Rogan go
that might
both
not be a
ways?
fact, though. Like, that's,
Oh, this might be made
no, I
up
don't
bullshit.
know. I don't know if Rogan's Jewish, though.
I don't either. Okay, this is an important fact that we're gonna have to find out. Okay, hold on. So So back to you, John. We're focused on you. So you look like Seth Rogen, who, by the way, is really cute. As for the girls around me, I found plenty of rednecks and generic personalities. He doesn't like basic bitches, so that's fine. Basic facts, like they enjoy music or like dogs. You would not be human if you didn't. All right, hold on, I'm sorry. And looks ranging from Sears Cole catalog model to da-da-da. Okay, so the girls kind of suck, bottom line.
Okay.
The question is, Should I worry about finding girls with shared interests, comic book stuff, video games, comedy, that kind of thing, the kind of stuff Chris Hardwick makes money exploiting? Or should I look for someone with different interests, country girls, club girls, sporty girls, etc.? And how far away should I look for dates? Akron? Is that what?
Akron.
Akron, my bad. Akron is a pretty small city, about an hour and a half from Cleveland, other major cities. Blah, blah, blah. Do you think I should cast a wider net, or should I stay close to home and save on gas and commute time and mileage? All right, have at it.
So he's a virgin. He wants to protect it to a degree. He doesn't want to just fuck anything, right?
I guess he has standards.
He has some standards.
Because the club girl, he's like asking if you should go for club girls.
Right. Because here's my thing. It's like, if you're tired of pretty much all the girls in your town because you know them, then you should, take some trips to Cleveland or Cincinnati or other cities or popular places in Ohio and go on some road trips and just do some fun shit, like shake up your comfort zone.
But like what? Like what would be, because this is such a common thing of like, where are you supposed to meet people?
Well,
where are you supposed to meet people?
if he's young, then he can go to like a big college town, and then you try to get some college girls.
But what if he's not that young? Like, okay, but look,
well, I don't
even
know
if
how
he's
old he is, but even if he's of age or not, like if he has friends in college, then they can go to some parties, some college parties.
That's true. But then if you're over a certain age, which is young, like if you're over like 25 and you're still going to college parties, it's weird, isn't it? Like you can't be that dude at college parties over a certain age.
What's the cutoff age in your Karen?
Okay, so when I was in college,
you had grown
the
guys.
red flag. Well, we had like a lot of like 20-year-old idiots, but my red flag would have gone off if somebody was like, well, look, when you're that age, mid-20s is like a little bit old to you. So if someone was like 25, 26, which is young.
No, I don't think it's old.
I would have thought it was, it's not old, but if you're at a college party with 18, 19, 20-year-olds and you're an adult and you have a job, you don't think that's going to raise red flags, going to be weird?
For the sake of that purpose, you tell me you're a grad student.
Okay, so lie.
So you got some grad student years, some leeway in grad student years.
But if he doesn't want club girls,
he doesn't want club girls,
he probably doesn't want college girls.
So he's probably not going to go. Then I would say, because then that cuts out bar girls too.
Right.
Because then he wouldn't just go to the bar and meet somebody. So then he should try to find like interesting like date places, I guess.
Like what?
Do they do speed dating in Akron? Like he should
They must.
They might do like little fun things like that. Like I don't take him for an app guy. Like he won't do Tinder.
Maybe.
I feel like you have enough of a sense of humor where you wouldn't have to rely like on Jew date or some shit like that.
Jew date.
Yeah.
There's some. What's funny about J-Date is that there's some black guys on there who are.
Yeah.
No, I like Jew Date better though.
Oh, okay.
There's some black dudes on there. I'm not sure about women because I've never searched for women, who go for Jewish women and are like very upfront. They're like, I am a non-Jewish black person, but I love Jewish girls.
I got a thing for them Jewish girls.
They must clean up.
Oh yeah.
Like, what is a Jewish girl like more than the illicit dark meat?
The brown Snicker.
You guys are the Snicker
with the veins on them. No,
you guys are forbidden fruit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's funny. We get such flack, the black men, when if we're like chasing white girls too hard.
Yeah.
Like, oh yes, this is this thing. You turning your whole back on the race. We still have that issues amongst each other with just like dating out within our race and dating outside. Like we don't treasure this woman enough, but y'all go run over there for someone. I don't know. It's crazy.
Isn't that a kind of racism?
It's a weird,
because like if a white woman's dating a black guy,
right?
People aren't like,
you're
why
betraying
wouldn't you
the
date
race.
Why wouldn't you date what white guys aren't good enough for you?
Yeah, the only one who had that kind of mentality were like the Italians.
What do you mean?
Like have you ever seen Jungle Fever with Spike Lee?
No.
Like he was depicting, because it was Wesley Snipes was dating this Italian girl.
Okay.
But then like the girlfriend and the family was like, oh, I don't know. I don't think I would ever date a black. And then the father beat her because when the brothers tell him that she was dating a black dude and messing with him, and then like the father smacked her. I didn't realize they had that much pressure.
Well, he's being a good parent. What do you want? That's called responsible parenting, Nick.
Yeah.
I know you grew up with women, but that's what fathers are supposed to do.
From black dudes?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so it's weird though. Like I don't know. So with him, does he like other girls outside of his race? Like, does he?
That's a good question. Let's assume race isn't a thing. Like, let's assume it's
I
just a matter
not.
of interest.
Like, so yeah, if it's just interest, then you should expand your pool.
Yeah, but like I feel like that's easier said than done. I mean, listen, apps is a good idea.
Apps.
Tinder,
his
dating
relatives.
websites.
Like he got to like, yo, tell his cousin, put me on one of your friends. Like girls have friends.
But you know what? It's really intimidating being a virgin and like because
damn,
I was
he's
an
a
old
virgin.
virgin too, and I remember how like you build it up after a certain point
That's
because
true.
you're like, I should have done this long ago, and I'm gonna be incompetent. I'm gonna suck at it, and it's pressure.
Well, here's what he could do, because this is how I lost my virginity. I'm not afraid to talk about it.
Talk about it.
I slept with a hooker.
You did?
Yeah, it was kind of like.
I mean, you're not the first and only one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But in my head, I like to feel like I did this. No, it was more so like my mom in
It's
Haiti.
very entrepreneurial.
Right in Haiti, the kind of the culture that's there. That's where my family's from.
Okay.
It's almost like your father will take you out to like a strip club or a brothel, whatever, and then get you a girl. It's almost like a bar mitzvah.
It's like a rite of passage.
Rite of passage, right?
Right,
So
right.
you get that. And when like over there, the girls are there like beautiful women. Like,
Right.
these are usually Dominican because they get them from the DR and then bring them over.
Right.
And you see these girls who are like swirling themselves, throwing themselves on you, and you're only giving them like $20 to $50 US, right?
Right.
So you have this thing that happens to you over there, and then you're like, I'm here struggling to try and make connections with, girls my age or whatever, like that, American women.
Yeah.
And they're putting me through all this shit. And then there's girls in these third world countries who would treat you like kings, don't even know you because of course they want money from you, but it's like, there's just like, there's a warmth though to it.
Yeah, who would blame you? But in a way, that's more honest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So
because
and
it's not like girls here don't care about that. They're just not going to be, that's not going to be their like interaction with you.
Right. So I did that, but then what that helped me was it gave me I lessened my tolerance for bullshit. So
Yeah.
It's just like I don't need this shit. There's girls out here who working who could get that easy $50 that I spent on a date taking you out. So
Yep.
that's how I rationalize it in my head.
Did you use condoms?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't play around with that. I'm not trying to get that Charlie Sheen.
Good for you.
But he might, maybe he should just get a hooker just, kind of in the moment. Like if he doesn't really, if the virginity is such a thing for him and he doesn't want to be patient and wait to hopefully meet a right girl or a nice girl, the right, or whatever. So then you kind of do that. Then you kind of like build this thing where you're just like, oh, I'm not pressed now. I got this thing out of me.
I agree.
And
That's
then
actually really
you might-
smart to separate those issues.
Yeah. Because and you don't pursue it the same. Like you don't think, oh, I'm gonna see if I can make a hooker fall in love with me. Don't get into that thing. But just like
But he also said his libido's low, so it might not be a sex thing. Like he might really
his
want
drive isn't that low, isn't that high.
Yeah, he might want like a
He
companion.
just wants
like
a companion,
you know
right?
what I mean?
Right. I mean, he should go through his Rolodex, kind of like who, what friends of his been holding him down.
Yeah.
But then it's always weird because, like, if you've been friends with a girl for so long and you ask her and she never sees it coming, she might not be, like, you can't go back to being friends once you put that on the table.
You think so?
With me, that's why I always fear asking a female comic out who I might be attracted to, because I feel like once I do that and set them that I might be interested in you sexually or attracted to you like that,
Right.
we can't go back to the friendly rapport we had, even if we joke and flirt a lot. Like you'll always think I'm trying to hit on you at some point. So I don't want that in your head. So I just won't even take it there.
That's true. I mean, if I've ever been hit on by
Because, as you know,
comics,
male comics can be so creepy sometimes,
they
too.
can be so creepy. But here's the thing: if you're a woman doing comedy, like you're approaching a female comic,
Right.
then you have some of that in you too. Do you know what I mean? Like you get the creep.
Yeah, I got
like,
the creep levels.
So for me, like I've been hit on before at like mics, but once it's clear that it's not gonna happen, it's not a thing that I feel like I have to hold on to. Do you know what I mean? Like we can just be cool.
That's true.
Like we got it out of the way. So like now we're just.
Yeah.
I mean,
but he should. Yeah, you should definitely. It's either go for some of your relatives, friends, see if they can
Start
put
with
you
family,
on. Start
yeah.
with family. Maybe pursue the app, the internet.
Yeah.
Or you just go to hit some other towns, man. Or take a trip. Like go with your friends. Go to Mexico. Go to
but be
Vegas.
careful.
Go to Miami.
I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't agree with saving gas money by not going into Cleveland. If the nearest big city is 2 hours away,
nothing.
it's nothing. It's going to be like go take a trip with friends. So you've got an itinerary and shit to
Right.
do.
Start
Hit places
going.
up.
Yeah.
Have friends that'll back you up because it's really intimidating if you're alone.
Yeah, get some wingmen. Like there's
Get
so many
wingmen.
apps where you can find out where to meet chicks and these different events and stuff like that.
But
Like
that is such a hard question because after all this talking, we still haven't really answered his question of where should I meet people. That's a hard question. People ask that about like New York, and I'm like, I don't know. I met my boyfriend at a comedy club.
Poetry
so.
spots. Girls are always there. Girls love poetry.
Yeah,
so
that's
one
true. Like alt art scene places.
Art stuff.
Yep.
Things that are artsy. Women love that. So
Right.
there's never a shortage of women there.
That's right. And they might be into what you're into.
Right. That's true, yeah. So,
Also, like, there's communities of people who do certain shit, like gamers. You know what I mean?
yeah, if you have big video gamers. I mean, but like I see all these YouTube video gamers and comic book people who make all these videos, and there's a couple of cute chicks in the video. So I'm like, oh shit,
Totally.
like pretty girls are getting, or like in the comic books like that too. So you would check out some conventions, go to conventions.
That's smart.
You
like
meet a bunch
Comic-Con
of chicks
kind
at a
of thing.
Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Start mapping out which Comic-Cons you're gonna go to.
I agree. And, and like, here's the thing, John. I don't think asking the question, should I not cast a wide net, is a kind of like discouraging thing. Like, you're you're saying is, should I give up? And the answer to that is obviously no.
No,
Yeah.
you're too young.
You're too, and you are in, what is it? Akron, Ohio. Not that I know it, but sounds like a little bit of a small place. So definitely,
not much going on. You gotta leave.
100% cast
You'll
a wider
see
net.
it.
If you're not going to be on a coast, do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
going to be a little harder for you anyway to find, especially if you're a person with like elevated interests.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to go into the city. You have to venture into the city.
Go to some cities.
Fuck gas mileage. Fuck all that shit. Fuck
Yeah.
the 2 hours. Just go. Like, go with your friends. I agree with that. Have a wingman. Cast a wide net.
So boom, we answered
Boom.
that.
All right,
Next
John.
email.
Thanks for writing me, John. You're the best. Okay, all right. This
You
is...
think he's gonna go out?
I hope so.
I hope so.
If you end up going out, please write me back and tell me how that happened. Please. I'm dying to know how this worked out. Okay, this guy's hilarious. This guy, Jay, loved Caitlyn. He goes... So he had 2 questions and only one was a real one. He goes, can I have dinner with Caitlyn if I support one of her shows? I don't know. Maybe. You're going to have to talk to Caitlyn. He has a huge crush. She probably already saw this. And then he goes, here's the interesting question. Is great sex a deal maker? And he goes, I'm younger than your average guy, but I can make a girl squirt effortlessly. No more dry dick. That was Caitlyn used to talk about dry dick.
Oh, she has a dry dick problem?
She takes it like too often. Apparently.
Really?
Yeah, like she's just like, okay, well, fuck, and then she's not like super
not wet.
amped up. Yeah. Which I say, number 1, there's lube for that, and number 2, like make him work a little bit harder. But what about, is great sex a deal maker?
Oh, okay. So what do you mean by like deal maker?
Right. So I asked that.
Yeah.
Okay. First, I just laughed, and then he goes, "Can I actually get an answer?" And I go, "What do you mean by deal maker? Like, does that mean you don't have to have a personality? Like, just fucking?"
Right.
Because I think the answer is clearly no.
No.
Like, I've gotten over, like, when I fucked somebody that was just a fucking person,
right,
and I got to know him, it was a deal breaker.
It turned you off.
It was gross.
Right. It could only go so long before you kind of start having to talk. Before
you start hating someone. And I like that. I feel bad saying that, but haven't you ever just been like, I think I hate you now?
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of going through this now. This chick, I was trying, we were talking, we were messing around. I didn't get to fuck, but then
you guys never fucked.
We didn't fuck, but we were getting close, and then we cut it off. And then she wanted to be more friends, and then like I've been trying to be a friend or whatever like that. But then she's
boring.
No, she's just been pissing me off. So I'm kind of like, man, I think I liked you more when I was trying to fuck you.
Yep. Some people are for that. For certain people, sometimes the match is just sexual.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he goes, this is like a really young guy question. Hold on, let me see what he said. My idea is, okay, so I guess he's under 25. That's really young. I've made a few people squirt. It's mostly water, so I don't know.
Squirt is piss, by the way.
Toys help. Is that true? Because I've read it's not.
It's a form of pee.
It is?
Yes.
I've never squirted. I don't know. It seems messy.
Yeah.
I'm a very clean
I have nice
person.
sheets. I don't want to ruin them.
I don't want to have to do the laundry. Like, even if I squirted, I feel like I'd hold back because I'm like, the laundry. Have you ever been with a squirter?
No. I've yet to see the squirter.
Is that hot to you or no?
It would be something like, in theory, it sounds hot.
Yeah.
I'd have to
in
feel
practice,
how,
you're like, can you use a bathroom like normal people?
Yeah, I kind of have to see how it goes if it happens.
I thought guys loved that.
No, I mean, like in porn, it looks fucking dope. But you got to think, like, if a girl just started on your face or whatever situation, would you really be turned on? Like,
some guys, yes.
Some guys, yes.
Some guys like to get the nasty.
Some guys might be just like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
but if you're a girl who squirts, like how hurt would you be if some guy were like, "Oh my god, you're filthy"?
I mean, she'd be a little embarrassed, or if she's just used to it, she's just like, "I don't care, I'm getting off."
That's the kind of thing of like, when a guy comes, like if you're, well, you don't know, but like, the common courtesy of like, if someone's sucking your dick, you got to be like, heads up, I'm coming. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just spring it.
Yeah.
Like, squirting's got to be the same.
It should be common. So then, if she's giving you warnings, then it should be good. Yeah, give me the warning.
Right.
I get my face out the way.
Yeah. Or get it in the way.
Yeah, no, I get my face out the way.
Out of the way? Okay. All right, hold on. All right, so...
Answer the question.
Oh, no, that's the question. Is sex a deal maker? I say fuck no.
I know a couple of situations where, like, I was listening to somebody else's podcast, and she was just saying how she had met this dude, just didn't really talk to him, but they could just had this fucking this chemistry, this attraction.
Right.
They messed around.
Yeah.
First night, she let him hit raw. Like, it was crazy.
Okay.
Of course, now they're not together. They started dating for like about a year, but then it's like she found out he had wife, kids, and all that other stuff. So
shit.
Yeah, in the short term, yes, but eventually it's not gonna. There's no way it holds up. So
right, which is I think the gist of it not being a deal maker. Like
it's not
you're
gonna.
right.
Yeah,
Great sex is a thing that can kind of only go downhill from there.
Right, because you reach the highest of high.
Right. I mean,
know.
I know it's easier said than done, but it is kind of better to be friends first.
Yeah, because the benefit of friends is that you get along with somebody you can tolerate and want to hang out with.
Right.
So they know that, okay, at least it's not going to be great sex. We get to chill, and hang out and just talk and laugh with each other. So because I enjoy the company. And
also, beauty and chemistry are things that are not automatic necessarily. Do you know what I mean? Like attraction can grow on you in a way that feels like it doesn't just feel mental. Like it feels like you're really like I'm into you genuinely, and I wasn't before on the basis of knowing your personality.
Absolutely,
like you look physically different to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like there's girls who I think are like okay or decent or whatever like that, but because I really love their sense of humor, I'm like, yo, I really like, I'm feeling that.
Yeah.
No, so definitely, I agree.
Okay, so. All right, keep up your good dick game,
Keep
Jay.
up your good dick game, but get you a personality, man. That'll keep you around.
Just talk to people like they're people. Girls love that. And then if on top of it, you fuck really good, that's like such an amazing bonus.
Because here's what happens. Anytime they're in a low place, guess who's getting the text?
Yep, it's you, Jay. It's you.
So work on your personality.
Yeah, and you're going to be fine. You're young. Okay, so let's finish with this, I guess, right, Shelby? Because that's how much time we have.
You do about an hour?
Yeah, we do about an hour. So it's 50 minutes really, but like we're good.
Okay, cool.
So, okay, this is Michael. He says, don't use my last name. You guys, hi, Crunts.
That's what he calls you?
Yeah, I guess.
That's his thing for you?
It's his thing. It's crass to mouth and cunt in one word. So
I
appreciate it.
You like to put words together.
I really do. I like nonsense words.
What am I blurry? What am I black?
A Blomedian?
A Blomedian?
I apologize.
No, I like it. It's funny. I never heard that before. You're the first.
Because I'm the
You're
dumbest.
the originator.
Yeah. Well, I'm like full of nonsense. So he goes, okay, keep in mind I'm drunk and stoned. This is, and don't be like that. Don't say that pussy ass shit. Just tell me your problem. That's an already like easy out.
Oh, because
do you know what I mean?
drunk
Like,
and stoned.
Here's my problem. By the way, I'm drunk, so I don't like. It's not really me.
Yeah.
No, it's you. I know it's you.
This is what you're thinking,
right? So he goes. This is from a while ago. All right. So he goes, I'm sorry, Michael. We're getting to you now. So he had a female friend. Been pretty depressed. Okay, I'm 21. Like, this is like huge.
Right.
Sounds huge to me,
Good
right?
for being honest.
By the way, I'm always stoned also. So if I've already talked about this, part of me is like, have I said this? But I don't think so. Okay, 21. Went to college with a girl for 3 years. Graduated early. Freshman year, very close friends. Was with her, counseled her through a first breakup. At the time was the dominant one in the friendship. She came to him for advice. He introduced her to a lot of things that are now part of her personality. That's like 21 is such a funny age. Like you're just so not a person.
Man, I feel like I haven't. Maybe I've grown a little bit, but I don't think
you're the same as that. No,
I don't think much has changed. Like maybe a couple of more understanding with women and stuff, but like the stuff that like college kids go through, like the life-changing thing, I don't think that happened because I was already in stand-up and amongst living grown life and then hearing grown shit so often.
You don't think that accelerated you though? You think that held you back?
No, in ways it accelerated me a lot more so than it held me back. But like I just don't feel like I like was this kind of person and then I just morphed into this other thing. Like I'm more so maybe morphed on stage. Because I just got confident a lot earlier, and then that helped me outside of comedy.
Because that's like an attractive, especially if someone learns that you're 24. It's like it's like kind of a disconnect between your age and your confidence.
It's like I wasn't antisocial. I was more like picking my spots. But then 2-3 years in comedy, like I'm like, okay, I can be anywhere in the world and not have a problem being out talking to people. So I guess it just upped my percentage.
But that's part of like being
But
older.
there's some like you see this stuff like where they were just like a completely different person, and then they just metamorphed in 3 years like that.
Well, this is interesting, right? Because so we met her, they're close, and he like felt like he was the alpha in the friendship, and then the next year she seemed to have soured on the friendship. So okay, long story short, she kind of dropped him.
As a friend, but they were never messing around.
I don't think they were ever messing around. And then he goes, okay, she like really dropped him, blocked his number, blocked messages on Facebook without removing him as a friend. Like that's shitty. Like didn't even bother unfriending.
That's mad douchey.
It's so douchey. That's garbage shit. So he goes, I don't understand why she'd cut me out of her life unprovoked. My other friend said she still liked me when they spoke about me after I left. My best estimate, she's trying to enter a new phase in her life, sees me as a representative of the past. Is this some bitch shit I haven't heard about? TLDR, why'd some holes stop talking to me? I can see that you're very hurt because you're calling women holes.
Yeah, I never called a girl holes in my angriest of
well, he's 21. Like, I have to forgive 21-year-old shit. This is 21-year-old shit, by the way. This isn't all women shit. This is kid shit.
I never thought of women as holes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Michael thinks of women as holes. I think this is his way of getting the power back. He's fuck that hole. Because your feelings are hurt, Michael, right?
It's definitely some bitch shit that she did. One thing, I guess, still, I'm always kind of like, I wish what could happen that women would do is like a closure thing. Like some girls will just always ignore, never call back.
Men are also like that.
They'll never tell you
They'll
reason.
avoid. Mm-hmm.
I would give anything to know a reason why she didn't, like a girl didn't want to pursue things or whatever. Most of the time, I never get the closure. Just be like,
but why?
We fell out, and then when I'm trying to reach out and still make contact or whatever like that, they just either don't respond or they keep it brief or whatever. Like they just won't get into it.
That's happened to me with men before.
Men don't tell you.
Well, I
don't know guys. I don't know guys
college.
who don't do that. Like I know guys who, of course, won't mislead women. I mean, that's a given. But to not give you closure as to why this isn't happening anymore, or why I'm fading, I'm distancing myself from you. I never understood why women do that. Because I always feel like women, you could get rid of a guy sooner if you tell them this is the problem why I don't want to mess with you. Because then the guy will stop texting you or calling you, or, you know.
Well, here's what's really shitty about that is that they were friends, and then she ghosted him, right?
Yeah.
Like really, like that's an intense level.
Yeah, she started curving you everything.
Right. So that's really shitty, and the shittiness of that.
You're still Facebook friends.
Right. So, well, I was like, because this has been like a little while, I was like, unfriend her, forget she exists. But the truth is, that shit, as shitty as that is, that's why. I know it's counterintuitive, but it's almost like the shittier someone is to you, the less you should get your feelings hurt. Especially, number one, you're 21. Number two, you've been friends for 1 year, which isn't that long. No. And so if someone's that shitty, then you go, all right, I dodged a bullet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
don't want them in my energy anyway. Yeah.
Right, she's a fucking cunt. I mean, that's cunty shit.
Yeah, that's just, for... If it's only a year, like if you had 8 years with her, like high school, whatever, I would really be like distraught. But for a girl who it's like you felt like you were helping her, making some things, and then she just kind of like, maybe she got her confidence together, and then she was like, oh, I don't need you anymore.
That's exactly what I thought too.
It could have been maybe she needed somebody to feel needed. You made her feel whole.
So to speak.
And once that hole got patched up, she was like, I kind of don't need to talk to you anymore.
Yeah, totally. I was like, because I like when I emailed this guy back, I was like, I think she probably just got a boyfriend, is my guess.
Yeah, she got into
a boyfriend
somebody.
Or a group of girlfriends.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't need to be spending this amount of time. And then that becomes a burden. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure she leaned hard on him when she didn't have anybody.
Right, and then he got caught up in doing it that he just was like, oh.
Right.
You don't need me anymore? Like, why?
But it's also your fault a little bit. If you're the recipient of that kind of treatment and it's like you take it, like she's fucked up and then you keep taking it without ending the friendship.
That's true.
It's your fault too.
Yeah, because you're letting it on.
Stay.
You're holding out hope for something else.
And like have self-esteem. Cut that bitch off.
It's hard to cut people off.
I know.
Yeah. You want to believe. You don't want to give up. You want to have faith.
And it's true.
They're going through a phase or something like that.
That's exactly right. And like the reason's not going to change your personality, but you're right. Like you do want to know that. You're like, what is it about me? Just so I know.
Just tell me.
That puts
so
you
I can
off.
work on myself.
Right. Yeah. Or just like know more about you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like maybe it's a you thing,
or
but
I
don't
never do
know.
This again. Right. I just want to know so I can work on it.
Yeah. I feel that pain. I really do.
You think you should cut her off and delete her Facebook?
Yes.
I agree.
The fuck on.
Delete the number.
Yep.
Don't write it down on paper so you kind of still have it.
Don't don't do that.
Delete the number, delete the email. Like, don't memorize it.
Don't get cute.
So just cut her off and then try to live life not knowing that you don't have access to her.
That's right, and forget about her. And then if she comes back down the line, cross that bridge when you get to it, forget she exists.
You don't have to be all the way jerk, but just be very
it's not a jerky
cold.
thing.
Be cold. No, I'm like, if she ever like comes back to try to talk to him, don't be nice and try to butter her up or be comforting. Like, be really stiff and just kind of like, well, okay, what do you want?
And protect yourself first. Like, that's not even a thing to be a dick. That's like, well, you burned me once, so I'm not going to just open myself up to you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree. People can't just have you as a friend without earning friendship, without being a friend to you too. All right, we're like over time, so I guess we should end it here. Nick, do you have stuff to promote, first of all, on Twitter?
Yes. I just need people to follow me.
Okay, what's your Twitter?
Because you know this comedy shit. You need these numbers. So my Twitter is @NickOfComedy, all one word, NICKOF Comedy. Mm-hmm. Instagram is Nick of Comedy. Facebook, Nick of Comedy. Snapchat. I'm Snapchat now, Nick of Comedy. So YouTube, Nick of Comedy. Everything Nick of Comedy. And just follow, add me, watch my videos. The show that I have Sunday night, I'll be at New York Comedy Club, 8 p.m. I'm with my boy Jamie Roberts. He hosts a great show. So if you guys can come out, it's like in the Gramercy area Sunday night. The rest of the shows I'm doing are like bar shows and stuff. So I don't know if people.
You have a website?
No, I don't. Well, I do, but it's not working.
But you post your shit on Facebook.
It's all Facebook, Instagram,
right.
Twitter. I do it that way.
Cool.
I think that should be our website. Do we really need a website?
No, I don't do a website.
People still they still need to see one.
People like open micers will put up a website. I'm like, what are you doing? Do you really want to expose
you don't even have
people
a
to
career.
this yet?
You don't even have headshots yet.
You don't even have jokes yet.
You don't have jokes. Right. Most important thing of it, you don't even have jokes yet.
That's the number one thing.
Yeah. So my headshot is work in progress.
Good for you, Nick. But I respect that.
Everything else, Nick of Comedy, and I'm very active. So
cool. And I am going to do Tommy O'Malley's storytelling show tonight at, oh my God, I think it's called Rich Lane in Brooklyn.
Okay.
The theme tonight is anal.
Hey.
Yeah, and I don't have an anal sex story, but it can be like a
the girl
personality.
I did ecstasy with, I did. Yeah. I did anal for the first time.
You did?
It was she let me do everything. It was great.
How did you like it better than normal?
I really liked it. I don't know.
Did?
Raw and ecstasy, everything is great.
Yeah, that's true.
But it did feel really good. Like the tight feel that you hear about. Like it wasn't painful to me. Like,
was it painful to her?
She didn't have any complaints.
Really?
Yeah, but maybe that's why we don't talk anymore.
It's so you ruined her butthole.
I ruined my butthole.
I've never done. I don't think it's for me, honestly.
Are you scared?
Yeah, why?
Because you're very tiny, so I can picture you're very
tiny.
You're very kind of just apprehensive. I get it.
And I have a giant boyfriend, so that's not even on the menu.
I thought you were just afraid of maybe him going.
Kurt's a very considerate and gentle person.
I figured that.
He is. I love him. He's like the best guy. But my butt's not for people. Do you know what I mean? It's like a me thing.
Protect your butt.
Protect my butt.
Just keep your pussy great.
My pussy game is strong.
That's all that matters.
That's right. Yeah. So I'm doing that tonight, and it's at 9 at Rich Lane in Williamsburg. So come out to that, and then you guys know crassthenmouth@gmail.com, @crassthenmouth, and @Karen Keren Margolis.
Only because I really like to do it, and I don't want to. I know how I said I don't like to promote my other shows because it's not in places where I'd invite people. I do want to invite people to this show too. So tomorrow night, because I'm really cool with Christian Polanco. That's my boy.
Okay.
And he has a spot, a show called Two Boots, I think, in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And they have pizza there, and I hear outside you can see people walking by while you're performing. I feel terrible that I don't know the name of the spot, but I know there's pizzas and Christian Polanco, and he does a comedy show every Wednesday, and I'm gonna be there tomorrow. I think it's Two Boots. If not, it's a pizza spot in Brooklyn.
Thank you for the worst promo ever.
I love you, Christian. I'm sorry, but I had to say something because I felt bad not mentioning your show.
You
mean a lot to me,
friend.
Christian.
Oh, what a sweetheart you are. All right. Thank you so much, Nick, for coming. This was so fun. It's like the first time I really hung out with you. This was great.
This was really our first hangout. It was a lot of high and just quick comedy meetups in clubs, and then we just really did this.
And I know your name forever. I swear to God.
Karen.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna forget.
No, you're
you,
so smart.
I can't. I hope you have me back. I'm
going to have you back. Thank you so much, Nick.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, take it easy.